I thought I'd share this as an open file because I was doing some self-reflection on my own childhood, especially when we map the mathematical map, the character maps, the symbols of mathematics, electrical codes of hydraulic lift capacity or calculating capacity, as it relates to the word in English called game, the game trap experiment. And I played a lot of games, but I used the gaming codes, the machinery codes, and repurposed it back into neurological breathing temperature codes. So I had covered this subject in some length with 13th Arcturian White Bear Clan Mother Karen Ann McDonald when I shared with her some of my earlier childhood experiences. So I'll share with you because this has a lot to do with correcting neurological, lymphatic, breathing system, healing codes, and restoring full capacity of optimal performance. So I was repurposing those codes, which are game codes, the way we use games, playing games, one against another. And I was playing those games, but for a different purpose, which is called restoration. In the field, the first electrical field, the crystal sound, the first sound of light. So I use an example, for example, when I was living in Orinda, California in 1959. My parents, my father was an aeronautical engineer, and my mother, who was an orphan, another angel. So I picked my biological parents to come in precisely right on time. The mathematical timing, only God's words can know, the Nomi seed code. And so we lived up in a place called Sleepy Hollow. And it reminded me of being in Ireland. The canopy, the canopy, the cockpit, the canopy, the cockpit, the jets. And so my parents took out a membership in the Orinda Country Club. There was a country club there. And they had an Olympic-sized pool there. So my parents entered me, like log in. An entry point, like an access point into the system. That system dynamics, those symptom codes, as in symptoms, as in optical, the optics, the holographic mathematical optics of mathematical encryption. So I was assigned a coach, and it's not a coincidence who was my swimming coach. Some of you that are old enough may remember, if you ever followed the Order Followers, sports, competition, games, the Olympic Games, the Olympic Arena, the Roman Arena, with a lady by the name of Donna De Verona. Donna De Verona was an Olympic gold medalist swimmer in the 1960, the Club of Rome. Those folks. And what was she showing me how to do? Breathing. Swimming through water like dolphins, like Breatharian form. The crystal tones of Breatharian form. Fine-tuning the Breatharian form, because I had the opportunity to take advantage, because it was presented as a presentation holographically, the mathematical codes of that swimming pool, to practice the neurological breathing Breatharian form of the crystal tones, the healing tones. So I was using that timing, the timing factor, the mathematical encryption code of the Nomi seed to practice the neurological, optical, holographic, mathematical breathing tones. And you can transfer that as transfer codes down to the ocean. Body surfing in the ocean at Newport Beach when I left Orinda to go live in Orange County. Now I'm at the beach every day, swimming in the ocean. And so this has everything to do with timing, the timing factors to restore the original Krystal Cathedral, the original codes, the security codes, the security teams, the keepers of the flame, the order. Yeah, and so I have fun with this because I had a lot of fun in my childhood, even though I acknowledged, just like the file that I shared about my father, when he hit the accelerator instead of hitting the gas. So I know where that instruction code came from because of cellular communication between one system and another, and how that relates to refraction and reflection as a transaction, as an order code to follow the order. And the order was followed because of the speed function between one and the other. And that's called an error code because they're not compatible. Now we're back to 66 2/3 and 33 1/3 as it relates to 90 degrees on the vertical, 90 degrees on the horizontal. Breathing is 1. The center point of that core is 1-3, which is 31, reading from left to right and right to left. The AC, the coolant, right? AC, the coolant, alternating current.